There is not a better battle for a league title than the WCAL. Just one game separates four teams, all of whom are seeking the 2019 crown. Mitty, Riordan, Bellarmine, and Sarah will play each other over the next 7 days in an all-out battle royale for the WCAL title. We have two of those four teams squaring off here tonight as we are on the campus of Archbishop Mitty, with the winner moving one step closer to be crowned a WCAL champion as Riordan is in town to take on their rival. Good evening, everybody. Glad you could join us here on the Central Coast Sports Broadcasting Network, streaming live on YouTube. My name is Spencer McLaughlin. I am alone tonight on the broadcast, so I'll be doing my best to keep you as entertained and informed as I can with phenomenal interviews at the halftime as always. I am coming to you live from the campus of Archbishop Mitty High School. WCAL action as the 9-2 Mitty Monarchs host the 8-3 Riordan Crusaders right here on YouTube Live and the Central Coast Sports Broadcasting Network. For Monarchs head coach Tim Kennedy, he is facing similar pressures at this stage of the season, albeit different from 2018. Last season, he needed to win the last two games of the year in order to qualify for the section playoff run. This season, the Monarchs are atop the leaderboard and will need to run the table over the course of their next 3 games for an outright WCAL title, which would be their second in the past 6 seasons. For Riordan, they are led by second-year head coach Joe Curtin, who is able to employ a couple of D1 junior prospects in Jelani Clark and Bryce Monroe, both of whom have helped Coach Curtin transform this young Crusader program from an 8-win team just 2 seasons ago to a squad this year only 1 game out of first place with 3 games to go. They would move into first place tonight with a win over Mitty. However, along with a talented young team for Riordan head coach Joe Curtin comes the growing pains with youth. They have had head-scratching losses this year at St. Francis 2 weeks ago, along with a sound defeat in their last game at St. Ignatius this past weekend, which makes you wonder which team will show up tonight for this must-win game for head coach Joe Curtin and squad. It will be crucial for the Crusaders to come out firing right at the tip to keep the game close early for any opportunity to pull the upset. This is the second meeting between these two teams. Riordan held on for a 59-58 one-point home win 3 weeks ago and would love to pull off the sweep as they are now here on the road tonight on the campus of Archbishop Mitty. A win would put them into first place in the WCAL. I'm Spencer McLaughlin. This is a Central Coast Sports Broadcasting production of Game Night coming to you on YouTube Live. Tip-off is about 6 minutes away. And you are listening to the Central Coast Sports Broadcasting pregame show. Want to give a shout out to our sponsor, BSN Sports. Since 1972, your ultimate leader of team sports and apparel and equipment in the United States, called John Gillette. For more information at 408-209-6433. Well, I mentioned a little bit earlier the last game for Riordan. It was a 62-49 loss to a St. Ignatius squad that is just 9-12 on the year and 5-6 in WCAL league play. An uncharacteristic loss, an unexpected loss for the Riordan Crusaders and head coach Joe Curtin. As for Mitty, they're coming off a huge win, 88-42 versus Valley Christian. That is the type of competition that we have got here tonight. Two of the top teams in the WCAL. Mitty right now is getting set to honor their seniors as it is senior night here on the campus of Archbishop Mitty. Let's jump into our Gonzalez Irrigation game-changing 3-pointers while they do the senior night ceremonies. Since 1985, let Gonzalez Irrigation Systems provide design, installation, parts, and service for all your berry, row, crop, orchard, and vineyard needs, including sprinklers, filters, meters, and booster pumps. And GIS proudly offers Netafim irrigation products. Contact GIS 831-675-2376. As we get into the pregame show here during the senior ceremonies, just 2 for Mitty Tiemann Sun and Joseph Vaughn, both of whom will be in the starting lineup tonight for head coach Tim Kennedy. And for Mitty, they're first place in the WCAL this season with 3 teams right on their tail. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it is senior night for the 2 young gentlemen that I just mentioned, Tiemann Sun and Joseph Vaughn. They are being honored at midcourt right now, their parents standing by their side as they begin to think about what they're going to do beyond their high school athletic and educational careers. For Riordan coming into this game, they have a young, outstanding, talented backcourt, 6'3" junior Jelani Clark and 5'10" junior Bryce Monroe, both of whom are D1 prospects looking for a WCAL title this season and perhaps the next, as both of them are just juniors, but both already with a growing list of Division I basketball offers. For Jelani Clark, Hampton University and the University of San Francisco have both offered him a scholarship. For Bryce Monroe, the list is even longer. It is USF, Eastern Illinois, Howard University, UCSB, and then that is the University of California, Santa Barbara there. So head coach Joe Curtin with some weapons in the backcourt. Those are 2 guys we'll have to look for tonight. A head-to-head note between these 2 teams. Riordan holds serve thus far in the 2019 season with the 1-point victory that I mentioned earlier. That was at Riordan, who now come on the road here to Archbishop Mitty for the 2nd game of the season and control of the WCAL on the line. That was our game-changing 3-pointers brought to you by Gonzales Irrigation, serving the Monterey, San Benito, Santa Cruz, and Santa Clara counties. Call them at 831-675-2376. That's 831-275-2376. You are listening to the Central Coast Sports Broadcasting pregame show. Time now for X's and O's, presented by Coastal Grower Magazine, which since 1988 has been a local favorite for people in the agriculture industry and those involved with the agricultural business here on the Central Coast. Visit them at www.coastalgrowermag.com. That's www.coastalgrowermag.com. And I'm going to go silent for a moment as we have the school prayer and also the national anthem. Well, and that concludes the pregame prayer and national anthem. Folks, I hope you like my voice as a broadcaster, because you are not going to hear me singing like that any anytime soon. Let's get to the starting lineups presented by Netafim Irrigation, offering the best-in-class irrigation solutions, helping you do more with water. That's what Netafim Drip Irrigation is about. Contact Mark Clifton at 831-258-8089. We'll start with the starting lineups for the visiting Riordan Crusaders. The backcourt I mentioned, Jelani Clark, the 6'3 junior with 2 Division I offers. He is joined, of course, by Bryce Monroe, the 5'10 junior, who has 5 Division I offers. They will be joined by Chime Ugbaja, a 5'9 senior, Justice Turner, a 6'3 senior, and Deshaun Johnson, a 6'4 senior, to round out the starting lineups for head coach Joe Curtin's squad. For the home team, Mitty Monarchs, Tim Kennedy. It is Michael Mitchell, a 6'2 sophomore, in the backcourt. Devin Sapp, a 6'4 junior. He is the leading scorer on this team. I was talking with Tim Kennedy in the pregame. He highlighted the importance of Devin Sapp getting this team going after what was an overall disappointing offensive showing their last time out against St. Ignatius. Marcus Green, a 6'2 junior, is joined by Joseph Vaughn, a 6'3 senior, and Teeman Sun, a 6'1 senior, will round out the starting 5 for the Mitty Monarchs. As we are getting ready to roll here from the campus of Archbishop Mitty, those are the startups brought to you by, or the starting lineups brought to you by Netafim Irrigation. This will conclude the Central Coast Sports pregame show. Tip-off is just moments away here for Riordan and for Archbishop Riordan and Archbishop Mitty here on the campus of Archbishop Mitty. Riordan is in their road purple with a kind of yellow goldish trim and black numbers on their jerseys. Look not unlike the Washington Huskies a little bit, a football team up north. For Mitty, it's their home whites. They have got gold numbering and a black trim around that numbering. It will be number 12, Deshaun Johnson, and number 3, Devin Sapp, to jump it up for the 2 squads as the officials get this one ready to go. It is senior night here at Archbishop Mitty. The fans are packed. They are ready to roll. We are underway, and Riordan controls the tip, and it is Jelani Clark giving to his backcourt mate, Bryce Monroe, who will walk it across the timer. Monroe, of course, with those 5 Division I offers, still just a junior, looking to get it going here in the early going for Riordan. Not much action so far. Riordan moving it around the perimeter. Here's a three-pointer. Right wing, and it's good. Chime Ugbaja with the 3, and it's an early throw lead for Riordan. Here's Mitchell at the other end. Up and under. Circus shot with a little English off the glass. It's good. Michael Mitchell, the first points of the game for Mitty, and it's 3-2, the Riordan lead. He disappeared into a crowd there and spun that ball up high off the glass. The crowd loves it, and it's 3-2, the early Riordan lead. Monroe answers at the other end with a left wing 3 of his own, and it's now 6-2 as Riordan has knocked down their first 2 triples from beyond the arc. Quickly the other way, it's Marcus Green in the near corner, who now backs it back out, hesitates, drives to the middle, down on the right block, shot comes off the rim. Rebound fought for and claimed by Mitchell, whose putback doesn't go, and Clark the other way for Riordan. Here's Turner on the left wing. His 3's off the mark. Rebound Monroe, and he threw it away. Mitchell the other way. 2-on-1 for Mitty. Here comes Mitchell down the lane. Check that Vaughn. Vaughn missed the layup, and it was blocked. Mitty wanted to foul, didn't get it. Fast-paced game in the early going. Check that, Monroe pounced to Turner, who threw it away. Mitty now at the other end. It's Vaughn down the lane, and he goes up and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Hectic action here in the early going. 90 seconds have gone by. It is 6-2, the Riordan lead over Mitty, as the Mitty students are now encouraging the senior Joseph Vaughn at the free throw line. They've got their hands up in the air. He makes the first one as their hands all drop down the moment it goes in. 6-3 now. The Mitty deficit is down to 3. Again, 90 seconds gone by here in the first quarter. Winner of this game will be in first place in the WCAL. Vaughn rims out the second. Rebound Clark. And Riordan pushes the other way, leading 63. Just over 90 seconds gone by here in the first. It's been very fast. We've seen turnovers at both ends. Monroe, crossover, down the lane, back out to Clark. Thought about the 3, now drives. And Riordan resets. Monroe thought about the three again. Pump fakes, kicks back up to Clark. He triggers a left wing three, and he's got it again. It's 3 triples for Riordan, 9-3 as we approach 2 minutes gone by. Their lead is 6. They have hit all 3 threes. Marcus Green now drives left baseline, puts it up, count it, and the foul. Marcus Green, the 6'2 junior, with an and one, and they're going to call the foul. It looked like it was on Justice Turner. I'll try to get confirmation on that later, but nonetheless, Marcus Green is at the free throw line looking to convert the three-point play and trim the deficit down to 3, which he does. 9-6, 2 minutes gone by. Riordan with the lead over Mitty here on the road, looking to move into first place in the WCAL. Riordan has hit all 3 triples. They have not shot anything else. The one other time they drove the ball inside, it was a turnover. In the near corner now, here's Ugbaja. He's got it up top now, 15 to shoot as head coach Joe Curtin wants him to run a play. Monroe triggers a deep left wing 3. This one's short. Rebound Vaughn, and Mitty now pushes right to left. Here's Mitchell, pulls up top of the key. That's a 3. Michael Mitchell with his first three-pointer of the evening. He's tied the game at 9 with 2 minutes, 40 seconds gone by here now in the first quarter. It has been a barrage of three-pointers, 4 between the two sides. Ugbaja near baseline, drives, pulls up. That jumper's long. Rebound Mitty. Here they come the other way. It's Sapp up ahead. It's Vaughn. Goes up, count it, and the foul. Joseph Vaughn with the second and one of the early going for Mitty. Head coach Joe Curtin is going to go to his bench for Riordan, and Joseph Vaughn will go to the free throw line once again. Riordan is going to send Dominic Wilson into the game in favor of Deshaun Johnson and number 30, Rini as well. Joseph Vaughn at the line looking to build on Mitty's first lead of the evening. It is currently 11-9, just about 3 minutes gone by. The free throw missed short. Mitty's fighting for the offensive rebound, and now we're going to get a jump ball between Dominic Wilson and it looks like Mason Ryan, who checked in for Mitty on that last dead ball as well. So for Mitty, it's Michael Mitchell, Devin Sapp, Joseph Vaughn, Marcus Green, and Mason Ryan on the court now. They have it at the near baseline. Mitchell bounces far corner to Ryan, who moves and hands off to Sapp, moving down the lane, up and under with the left hand, rolls off the rim. Rebound Riordan. Here they come the other way. It's Clark, who now slows it up. Clark has it on the left wing, one-on-one, hesitates, jab step, hands off, Rini, left corner, 3, that clanks off the side of the rim. Long rebound comes out to Bryce Monroe. Euro steps down the lane, and they're going to get Monroe for a travel. He can't believe it, but it looked like it was probably the right call. Bryce Monroe with a little bit of happy feet there as he went down the lane. 11-9 is the Mitty lead as we approach 4.5 left here in the first quarter in what has been a fast-paced, up-and-down affair that has already included 4 three-pointers. Here's Vaughn down the lane, gets by Rini and scores. Joseph Vaughn with his 3rd field goal already. The lead is up to 4. Monroe quickly at the other end nails a left wing 2-pointer. Bryce Monroe showing that smooth stroke, and now Mitty coming the other way. Vaughn almost lost it out of bounds, and now they reset with Marcus Green. Bryce Monroe has got 5 points now in the early going, and an offensive foul is called away from the ball on Joseph Vaughn. That's going to be his first illegal screen, says the official, and it is a turnover for Mitty as Riordan will have the ball, trailing by 2. 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 13-11 is the Mitty lead. Like I said, it has been a fast-paced affair here on the campus of Archbishop Mitty High School. Monroe handles now in the right wing, feeds to Rini, who doesn't have much. He's backing down on Ryan at the right block, almost lost it. Now feeds back out to Monroe. Riordan looking to cut into the deficit. They've led most of the way. This is their first deficit of the game. Monroe now with 8 to shoot, up top. Crossover between the legs, down the left side, bullet pass. His teammate there, that was Dominic Wilson, couldn't quite get the layup to go, but he was fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws. And right there you can see what makes Bryce Monroe such a promising prospect with all of those Division I offers, including the University of San Francisco, who are currently having an outstanding season in the West Coast Conference just up the road from where we are. But it is Dominic Wilson, the 6'4 junior, at the line. He misses the first free throw off the heel of the rim, but back to Bryce Monroe on that play. A real quick handle does the junior have, and an excellent feed through traffic just to get the ball to Wilson on that play and set up an opportunity. So 13-11 is the Mitty lead as Wilson misses the second free throw, but rebound Justice Turner. His layup putback doesn't go, and now Mitty has it the other way with Sapp. He throws ahead to Vaughn, up and under, off the glass, no good, but Sapp follows it in. 15-11 is the Mitty lead now. It's their largest of the game as we approach 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Monroe looking to answer at the other end. His head coach Joe Curtin calls out a play. He gets a screen from Wilson, drifts left to the elbow, back out to Clark. Thought about the three. He drives baseline, goes up and scores. Explosive play there from Jelani Clark, a D1 prospect himself, and the deficit is down to 2, 13-15. Riordan now trails Mitty on the road. Under 3 minutes to play. Michael Mitchell with the ball for Mitty as they get into their offense. It's good off-ball defense at the moment by Riordan as Sapp comes off a screen, but he traveled as he got it, and it is going to be another Mitty turnover as head coach Tim Kennedy will go to his bench. Owen Brown checks into the game for Mitty alongside, that's Jacob Ryan. So it's Jacob Ryan, Joseph Vaughn, Owen Brown, Michael Mitchell, and Mason Ryan, who I already mentioned, and I'm struggling to see who the other player is, but I'll get that for you in a moment. Here's Monroe, triggers a left wing three. It rolls off the rim and off the backboard. Mason Ryan, the rebound for Mitty, and he has it coming the other way. This is Brown, hands off to Mitchell on the left wing, tries a three. It's good. Michael Mitchell with his second field goal. He's got 5, and that is what the Mitty lead is at now, 18-13. 2 minutes to play in the first. Monroe drives down the left lane, had it taken away by Mitchell. Here comes Mitty, and he lost it out of bounds. Michael Mitchell was running ahead with a 2-on-1. Joseph Vaughn was stride for stride, but the pass from Mason Ryan just couldn't quite get corralled by Michael Mitchell. And that is going to be another turnover for Mitty, who lead by 5, 18-13 here with under 2 minutes to play now in the first quarter. An emotional game here as the winner will be in first place in the WCAL. Rennie triggers a left wing three. That's short off the rim, gets his own rebound, drives down the lane, up and under. Can't finish the layup, but he's fouled. And Rennie, the 6'9 junior, the lanky 6'9 junior, will go to the free throw line, looking to cut into a 5-point deficit for Riordan. Rennie is a thin player out there, but he is lanky, able to get his own rebound right there as he knocks down the first free throw. So for Riordan right now, it's Jelani Clark, Bryce Monroe, Rennie, Dominic Wilson, and Deshaun Johnson in there right now. Or check that, that's Justice Turner in there right now for Joe Curtin. Mitty hit the second free throw, so it's a 3-point game. 18-15, Mitty with the 3-point lead and the ball here at the left end of the court from where I'm standing and broadcasting to you all this game on Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. Working around the perimeter is Mitty. They have it now in no hurry. Mitchell tries another left wing three. That one's off the heel. Rebound to Clark and Riordan, and they now push left to right, looking to cut into a 3-point deficit. Clark down the lane, hands off. Nice pass to Dominic Wilson for the easy 2, and it's a 1-point game with just over a minute to play. 18-17, the Mitty lead is trimmed to 1 on the basket by Wilson. Here's Mitchell, drifts to the top of the key, fires a 3. That's off the side of the rim. Clark, his second consecutive rebound. He wants to push up ahead to Rennie. He goes up with the layup. It bounces off the rim. Rebound Mitchell. Had a chance to build on the lead there, or regain the lead there for Riordan as Mitty then turned it over at the other end. Mitchell couldn't handle a pass. Clark, right wing, crosses over, working baseline, step back, tough fadeaway, comes off the side of the backboard. Rebound by Vaughn, who just played good defense. Bounces to Mitchell, back to Vaughn, left-handed layup is good off the glass. Joseph Vaughn with another bucket. He is the team's leading scorer, and he has got the lead back up to 3, 20-17, with 20 seconds now left in the first quarter, and Bryce Monroe and Riordan will hold for one shot. There have been very few stoppages in this game. No timeouts, 3 team fouls for either side. Monroe handles. He's going to get a screen from Dominic Wilson. Drifts left. Now he's got the switch on Devon. Hesitates, drives left, kicks it back out. Turner fires a desperation 3. It's an air ball, and that will lead us to the end of the first quarter. It is Mitty 20, Riordan 17, as the battle for first place in the WCAL is on the line. Central Coast is your source for high school sports all year long. Follow us this regular season with the 2019 CCS playoffs, which are right around the corner. Drop us a line with your thoughts and feedback at ccsblive@gmail.com. For more info, go to our website, centralcoastsports.live. You can also follow us on Facebook, Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. Shout out to Arnie Von Massenhausen of Home Services Lending. First-time home buyer or looking to refinance your current mortgage? Work with an experienced mortgage consultant to find a solution that best fits your needs. Call Arnie today at 408-858-4906. Also want to remind you, San Jose's Hot Country 95.3 KRTY. For the best in today's country music, sports, contents, and fantastic concert series, KRTY has it all for you. Coming February 7th live at Club Rodeo, country artist Russell Dickerson, and on March 28th live from the City National Civic in San Jose, Brett Young. For more ticket information, go to the website krty.com. Well, as we get ready to begin the second quarter, it is Mitty 20, Riordan 17 as the battle for the WCA, or first place in the WCAL, is on the line. James Thomas checked in at the break of the first quarter for Mitty, who come out in kind of a matchup zone here for the home team. Clark fires a deep top of the key 3 and rattles it in. That ties the game at 20. Mitty with it now, looking to regain the lead. Brown is left all alone on the left wing. He fires a 3 and it's nothing but net. A defensive miscommunication for Riordan as no one picked up Owen Brown. And it is once again a 3-point lead, 23-20. Just over 30 seconds gone by here in the second quarter. Mitty with the lead. Riordan with the ball. Ugbaja tries a right corner 3. He rolls it around and in. Everything going in from beyond the arc for both sides. It's a 23-23 game as we approach a minute gone by here in the second quarter. Both teams have been launching early and often, and it has been a high-scoring affair with plenty of turnovers as well. Brown handles now on the right wing, feeds Green. Top of the key, fires a 3. That one's long. Rebound comes up. Ugbaja fought for it, but Mitty claims the rebound with Jacob Ryan, who also checked in. Hap triggers a right wing 3. It bounces off the rim long, and it's going to be Monroe with the rebound, who brings it the other way. Riordan looking to regain the lead with the game tied at 23. Throws a backdoor to Clark, who had his shot blocked, but a foul is going to be called as Devin Sapp came over with the block. We'll see who they get the foul on. It is going to be on Sapp. That is his first personal foul. It'll send Jelani Clark to the line, looking to give Riordan the lead once again. And the first free throw comes up short, so that regained lead will have to wait. It's 23-23, 6:35 on the clock here in the second quarter. Your Green Waffle in-game summary is that it has been an up-and-down affair. A lot of teams, or both teams, making three-pointers. Clark makes the second free throw. It's 24-23. Owen Brown down the lane. Teardrop. It's good. Owen Brown crashed in from the right wing. Once again, a little bit of a defensive miscommunication for Riordan. That's their second in their last 3 possessions, and it's 25-24. Mitty back on top by 1 as we approach 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Monroe handling up top. He has not yet checked out of the game, nor has Jelani Clark. Here's Turner in the lane, blocked from behind by Hap. Mitty with the ball coming the other way, looking to build on a 1-point lead. It's Sapp, right corner, 3-pointer, short. Rebound fought for by Justice Turner, or check that, Deshaun Johnson, but it went out of bounds off of Deshaun Johnson for Riordan, and it will stay Mitty basketball at this end. They have a 1-point lead and a fresh 35. as we'll get a substitution here. Jelani Clark for Riordan will check out for the first time in favor of Dante Henderson, a 6'1 senior for head coach Joe Curtin. Here's Sapp down the lane, had it stripped as he went up, but he is fouled, and he is going to go to the free throw line once again as Devin Sapp is headed to the free throw line, and head coach Joe Curtin here almost could have gotten a technical foul right there as the ball came to him after it was swatted away from Sapp. The official asked for it, and in frustration at his team's inability to play without fouling, Curtin kind of threw the ball towards the feet of the official instead of at his chest, and the official went for his whistle but decided not to give Coach Curtin the technical, but warned him of his actions. Devin Sapp, the leading scorer for Mitty, knocks down 2 free throws. He lead up to 3, just over 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. 27-24, the Mitty lead over Riordan. Bryce Monroe has handled the ball a lot. It is now Turner, goes baseline, throws it far corner to Ugbaji, and he had it knocked out of bounds by Sapp, or Ugbaja, excuse me, but it is going to be Riordan basketball still, and Dante Henderson will take it out of bounds. He throws it long into the backcourt to Bryce Monroe, who, as I said, has not come out of this game. Jelani Clark just checked out of the game for the first time for Riordan. Ugbaja fires a right wing 3 and connects. Once again, the three-pointers are working for both sides. It's a tie game at 27, just over 2.5 gone by here in the second quarter. Sapp, far baseline, checked by Turner, got cut off and had to back it back out. The Riordan bench loves that defense from their comrades. Here's Owen Brown, crossover down the right lane, up off the glass, it bounces off the rim. Rebound Johnson, and Riordan now pushes left to right, a chance to regain the lead once again. Monroe hesitate down the lane, left-handed scoop layup is good. Bryce Monroe has given his team the lead, just over 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. 29-27, Riordan with the lead over Mitty on the road. The Mitty student section has not been super active tonight because every time they've scored, Riordan has had an answer. Here's Sapp, drives down the lane, up and in with the left hand. Pretty move there off the glass from Devin Sapp. It's tied at 29 again. Monroe right back the other way, had it poked away. It looked like Henderson, it was Henderson who got a hand on it, and they're going to say that it was out of bounds off of Henderson. A coach came into my line of sight for just a moment as I was unable to see what was happening, but the game is tied at 29. Mitty with the ball, 4.5 to play here in the second quarter from Archbishop Mitty High School. Mason Ryan fires a left wing 3. That one's short. Rebound Jelani Clark, who just checked back into the game for Riordan. He throws it up ahead to Dante Henderson, and now Riordan resets in what has been a rare moment of not pushing the ball in the fast break. Clark, a right wing 3. Oh, he's got it again! Jelani Clark, a deep, deep 3, and it's a 3-point lead for Riordan. Here's Green, down the lane, throws it back out to Sapp. Right wing 3. It deads in between the backboard and the rim, and so it will be a jump ball. The possession arrow is going to favor Mitty for now, so they perhaps catch a break as Devin Sapp deaded that ball right in between that little wedge between the backboard and the rim, and now there is a timeout on the floor taken by Riordan. Time now for the Green Waffle in-game summary. If you are tired of fake food loaded with junk, then eat clean. Go green. Try the Green Waffle, a delicious new alternative to healthy eating. Our newest sponsor, check out their website, thegreenwaffle.com. And if you're looking for a fresh, rich Sicilian-style pizza, come check out Pomodoro Pizza, 6932 Almaden Expressway, San Jose, for your ultimate pizza experience. Stop by today. It's good pizza. I've been there. For more than 4 decades, no construction company ranks higher in award-winning projects such as school, nonprofits, and high-tech campuses, enhancing and enriching our community. Look no further than Block Constructions. For more info, go to www.blach.com. That's www.block.com. So as we get set to come out of the timeout, we're just past the midway point in the second quarter, 32-29. Riordan with the lead over Mitty, looking to sweep the season series as they already had a 1-point victory at home earlier in the year. That was back on Riordan's campus. And that was a 59-58 thriller, and it's looking like it could be a similar result tonight in that it is going to be a close game. Michael Mitchell will inbound from the far baseline. He's checked back in the game. He feeds Sapp on the right wing, back up top to Green, and Mitty now can set up their offense, trailing by 3. Sapp on the left wing, hop step, throws it up off the glass and in. Devin Sapp with an awkward off-balance jumper right there, and the soft touch off the glass. He's trimmed the deficit to 1, 31-32. Mitty trails Riordan now. Riordan with the ball at the other end as Coach Joe Curtin calls out a play for his guard, Jelani Clark. He just left off the screen from Dominic Wilson. Pass was tipped, but claimed by Ugbaja, who has it now. Hesitates, drives right, back out to McPherson. Check that as Henderson, back up Clark, jab step, check by Ryan, pulls another deep 3. Oh, he's got it again! And he loves him some deep 3s, does Jelani Clark. He is all into it. That is his 3rd triple, and they've all been deep. Nathan Green, top of the key, tried to answer. It's long. Rebound snatched by who else but Jelani Clark. He and Bryce Monroe have been everywhere, and Clark now throws it away, looking for Ugbaja, and he points to him immediately and says, "My bad." Just couldn't quite get that pass to Chime Ugbaja, the 5'9 senior, for head coach Joe Curtin. And it's a turnover, and Mitty has it the other way, trailing by 4, under 3 minutes to play now in the first half. It's 35-31, the Riordan lead, as they look to gain sole possession of first place in the WCAL. They have it now right in front of me. Up top, it's crossover on Ugbaji. He steps back, right wing 3, bang! Michael Mitchell's trimmed the deficit to 1, 35-34. Mitty looking to get a stop now and a score to regain the lead. Monroe trying to not let that happen. Drives left, steps back, puts up a floater. It's short. Rebound Sapp. Mitty moves right to left. Chance to regain the lead. Far corner. It's Brown for 3. It's short. Bounces over the rim. Offensive rebound is put back up and in by Joseph Vaughn. Mitty with the lead once again. They have not led since the first quarter, 36-35. The 1-point leads were under 90 seconds to play now here in the second quarter. Ugbaji has it on the right wing and had a hit. Looked like it went off his leg. Mason Ryan is trying to make that case that he swatted it off of Ugbaja's leg, but the official disagrees. It will stay Riordan basketball as Bryce Monroe and Jelani Clark check back into the game for Riordan. Check that, just Jelani Clark, as Bryce Monroe was already back in the game. He gets it in to Justice Turner in the far corner, and now Jelani Clark, who has had the hot hand with 3 deep triples here in the early going. 10 to shoot now, feeds Monroe on the right wing. He triggers a right wing 3. It's short. Rebound Mitchell and Mitty. They move right to left, looking to build on a 1-point lead. Up ahead, it's Vaughn. Hangs in the air, throws up a wild shot. No good. Rebound Clark. Crowd wanted a foul, didn't get it. Here's Clark the other way, down the lane, glides in the air, lays it in. Jelani Clark shows the athleticism, and Monroe steals it in the backcourt. He hangs in the air and finishes as well. 4 quick points. It's a 3-point lead, 39-36. We're under 40 seconds to play in the first half, and Tim Kennedy wants his team to slow it up. Bryce Monroe and Jelani Clark showing why they are Division I prospects with Division I offers, making athletic heads-up plays there in the last few seconds. Here Sapp pulls a left wing jumper, and it's an air ball, rebound to Riordan and Bryce Monroe, who are in no hurry now as we're under 20 seconds to play. 10 seconds to go now in the first half. Shot clock is turned off. Riordan will take a lead into the half. Just a question, how big it'll be. Monroe, crossover, goes up, block, rebound comes to Justice. He turns around and fires it in. Dominic Wilson with the heads-up play. Bryce Monroe had his shot blocked. And Dominic Wilson able to find the ball, turn around, fire, and push the lead up to 5 for Riordan. And that is where it stands right now, 41-36. Riordan with the lead on the road, trying to gain full possession of first place in the WCAL. Stay tuned for the Central Coast Sports Halftime Show with our halftime spotlight interview with Bellarmine Athletic Director Mike Sullivan and Louis Agelson. All coming up on the Central Coast Sports Halftime Show. And joining me right now is Bellarmine Athletic Director Mike Sullivan. as we get him all squared away with the headset right now. He is on air. Mike, thanks for coming on the program.
I appreciate being here.
So, for you guys this year at Bellarmine, 15-6, 9-2 in the WCAL. It's a far cry from last season in Coach Kenny's team, which had to win their final 2 games. By the way, I need to issue a correction. My sheet said Bellarmine, but you are, of course, the Mitty athletic director here, watching your boys play out there. But you guys come in first place in the WCAL. Last year, you had to win your final 2 games just to qualify for the playoffs, and then went on to the CCS championship. In early November, when this season was getting going, did you see this coming from this squad?
You know, I mean, we liked the spring and the summer that we had. And, I mean, last year was a learning curve. We were so young. I mean, you see this, tonight we only have 2 seniors. We're still a young team. But the spring looked good, our work ethic during the summer. And then all throughout the weights and the preseason conditioning, just every week you saw different players taking strides and getting better. So did I know we'd be 9-2? No. But I sure thought we were going to be in the hunt with the way we were competing.
Well, you mentioned the young roster, which include 2 sophomores and a freshman. Michael Mitchell, he's been one of the best players on the court tonight. Really the point guard, the leader for your team. He's in the starting lineup. I mean, one of the things that has been said about Coach Kennedy is if he has a player on a roster, that player is going to play. It doesn't matter who they are, where they come from, what the hype is, how old they are, or anything. In the case of Michael Mitchell last season and Aiden Burke this season, how has Coach Kennedy been able to transform these young men to the speed and the physicality of varsity basketball in the WCAL?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, I think one of Coach Kennedy's strengths is he's adaptable. When he had big guys, he would pound it inside. When he has shooters, he'll run you off screens. When he's got playmakers, he'll try to spread the floor and let you create. You know, and Mike Mitchell and Aiden Burke right now are 2 very nice young players with a diverse skill set. And so I think part of it is putting in a system where they can be comfortable, putting in a situation where their teammates around them support them, and then kind of watching and see as we all grow.
So the atmosphere for basketball you guys have here at Mitty is amazing. You know, it's senior night tonight, but you still love seeing the packed house. The band is here. The students are into it. The parents are here. The visitor section is packed. I mean, you guys have really got it all going. So tonight is senior night. Talk a bit about your senior players and, you know, what they've meant to this program and what they're looking to do, you know, as they take their next step.
If we start out first, team and
athletic director Brian Eagleson. Brian, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was athletic director Brian Eagleson, AD of Mitty. Apologize for that correction that I had to make earlier, as my notes are all over the place. But once again, we got about 5 minutes until the second half gets underway, so I'm going to do my best here to break down what happened in that first half. So, to recap, 41-36 is the Riordan lead on the road here at Archbishop Mitty. The winner of this game will be in first place in the WCAL. Earlier in the year, Riordan won 59-58 against Archbishop Mitty over at Riordan. Now it is senior night for Archbishop Mitty and head coach Tim Kennedy. And as I'm looking at the stat sheet here, Jelani Clark and Bryce Monroe, both of whom had excellent first half, but Jelani Clark especially, he had a game-high 17 points in that first half. He was 6 of 7 from the floor. He also had 9 rebounds. So this is a guy who's got 17 points and 9 rebounds. By any measure, a great stat line to have at the end of a game. He's got that in the first half. He's also 4 of 4 from beyond the arc, and that cannot be understated because they have been deep three-pointers. I mean, they've been the kind of threes where a guy makes 1, maybe 2, then he fires the heat check threes to see, okay, am I really this hot? He hasn't always had room on him. He's been launching basically every time he gets the ball. So we'll look to see if he's able to keep that hot hand going in the second half. Also had 4 assists in that first half. Did Jelani Clark. Really an excellent all-around performance in his 13 minutes of action. For his backcourt companion, who I've also talked about a lot on the program, Bryce Monroe, both young men have offers to play nearby at USF and at other places across the country. But Bryce Monroe, he had 9 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds in that first half in 14 minutes of action. He was 4 of 9 from the floor and just 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. Kid that we were talking about at halftime with Mitty AD Brian Eagleson, who, of course, gave great interviews as we've had all year long here on the Central Coast Sports Broadcasting Station. But Michael Mitchell, the sophomore, led the way with 11 points. He had 3 triples of his own to go along with an assist, a block, a steal, and 4 rebounds. So doing a little bit of everything for head coach Tim Kennedy is his young sophomore. He is the only player on Mitty in double figures who shot 44% from the floor and 4 of 13 from beyond the arc and 4 of 6 from the free throw line. For Archbishop Riordan, they had 12 points in the paint, that is, to Archbishop Mitty's 15. Now, the points off of turnovers are something I'd like to highlight because, as I've mentioned throughout this game, it has been an up and down, back and forth, fast-paced affair. But so far, the points off turnovers and the fast break points have been very even. 4 points off turnovers for Archbishop Riordan, 6 for Archbishop Mitty, 6 points on the fast break for Archbishop Riordan compared to 7 for Archbishop Mitty. We'll see if those numbers stay pretty close as we get ready to go here in the second half. Time now for our Green Waffle second half adjustments. Attention, people, as it looks like Teeman Sun is not in the starting lineup in the second half here for head coach Tim Kennedy. Riordan with the ball, moving it right to left in their road purple. It's Monroe on the right wing. Now hands off to Clark, who had that exceptional first half with 4 3-pointers and a game-high 17. Not a lot of action going here for Riordan on their first possession as they've been cut off. 15 to shoot now. It's Monroe, gets into the lane, hop step, back out for Ugbaja. He gets a screen from Clark, who gives it to Clark. Now on the left wing with 7. Drifts to the top, fires it. No, he passes off to his teammate. That is Deshaun Johnson, who can't finish the layup. Fight for the offensive rebound is going to go Mitty's way as the ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Mitty basketball as they trail by 5. 40 seconds gone by there on that possession. Nearly, basically, the entire shot clock used up by Riordan. Jelani Clark wanted to fire another 3, but he was cut off from doing so. Sapp will fire a right wing 3. That one rims out. Rebound Ugbaja, and he moves right to left now, leading by 5 for Riordan. Monroe has it on the left wing, feeds Turner, drives baseline, lays it up, off the glass, count it, and the foul. They're going to call a blocking foul. It looks like it'll be on Mason Ryan. That is his first personal foul, but Justice Turner will go to the line with what is now the biggest Riordan or Mitty lead of the game. Riordan up 43-36. A minute gone by here in the second half. Justice Turner, a 6'3 sophomore. He has played extensively tonight, does a little bit of everything for Joe Carton and this Riordan squad. Among that everything is making free throws as he does so there. It's an 8-point lead, 44-36. Mitty trails Riordan, and Mitty has the ball at the far end. Vaughn now hands off to Mitchell, who had 11 points in the first half to lead Mitty, doing a little fancy dribbling, and Monroe took it away. He bounces to Johnson and now hands off to Clark. Riordan come the other way. It's Turner, left corner, 3-pointer. It's good. Justice Turner with a 3-pointer, and it is now an 11-point Riordan lead, and Tim Kennedy wants time. It was a 5 game at the half. It is a 6-0 Riordan run to start the half. The 3-point play from Justice Turner, and then the 3-pointer from the same guy here right in front of the Riordan bench, who loved it. And it's 47-36 with 90 seconds gone by here in the second half. With a coast-to-coast footprint of over 300 U.S.-based production sites, you can see why Vulcan Materials is an essential part of our country's makeover, including roads, construction of office buildings, schools, hospitals, and more. Giving back to our community and shaping our future. Visit vulcanmaterials.com. So it has been the Justice Turner show here in the second half. He didn't have a point in the first half, was 0 of 3 and 0 of 2 from beyond the arc, but not deterred as he has made both of his field goals and his lone free throw attempt. He's got the first 6 Riordan points of the second half. He's pushed the lead up to 11, 47-36, as Riordan defends Mitty at the far end. Sapp, left wing, tries a 3. He's got it. That cuts the deficit under 10 to 8, 39-87. Mitty trails Riordan now. Riordan with the ball, looking to build on that 8-point lead. Riordan has been slowing it up here in the second half, trying to get into their sets and get the ball to their playmakers. One of them right here is Jelani Clark, but he now hands off as the Riordan offense continues to just kind of probe and use all the shot clock they can. 10 to shoot now for Monroe, who handles up top. Turner now, a right wing 3. That's well short. Rebound came down fast, out of bounds. It's going to be off of Johnson. Deshaun Johnson, the 6'4 senior, unable to corral the rebound, and it will be Mitty basketball. They look to cut into an 8-point deficit, 39-87. They trail here at home on senior night. Winner of this game trying to get into first place of the WCAL standings. Here's Vaughn down the lane off the feed from Sapp. He can't finish the layup. It was a great pass, but he could not finish. Clark the other way. Euro step down the lane. Right-handed layup is no good. Rebound Sapp, and Mitty now moves left to right, looking to cut into an 8-point deficit, and he lost the ball. Up ahead, it's Clark, and he will coast for a two-handed flush. Jelani Clark shows the athleticism. He's now got 19 points. It's a 10-point Riordan lead, 49-39, as we approach 3 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. Feeds Vaughn, who kicks to Ryan, left wing. His three-pointer comes up short. Skying for the rebound is Turner, who threw it away. Sapp with the steal. It's Vaughn now. Back to Sapp, left wing, three-pointer. No. Comes to Mitchell, though. Offensive rebound, Mitty down the lane. Back out to Green. His three-pointer. Got it! There's that hectic sequence that I was waiting for, and what we came accustomed to in the first half. That three-pointer by Marcus Green trims the deficit to 7, 42-49, as Mitty looks for a stop at the other end with just under 4.5 to play here in the third quarter. Monroe fires a left wing 3. He answers! The Riordan bench wanted an and one, but loves the 3 anyway, and Bryce Monroe continues to show the shooting stroke as he has got his second triple of the evening now. 52-42, the Riordan lead. Green gets by Ugbaja. Down the lane, he lays it in. Ugbaja went for the steal, and Green went behind the back, coasted down the left side of the lane, and calmly laid it in. That gets the deficit back under 8 for Mitty. 44-52, they trail as they look for a stop here at the left end, right in front of their home student section. Here's Monroe, hesitates, drives right off the screen, up and under, flips it up, bounces off the rim. Rebound Ryan and Mitty. Here they come, up ahead it's Green. He's going to go up, and he is fouled. Marcus Green is going to go to the free throw line with a chance to trim the deficit even further. 52-44 is what the score currently stands, and Green is on the free throw line for 2. The foul is going to be on Chime Ugbaja. That's going to be his second personal foul. Green knocks down the first free throw. He struggled from the floor in that first half with just 3. He has got 4 points now. Checking in for Mitty is James Thomas and Owen Brown. So it's Owen Brown, James Thomas, Marcus Green, Joseph Vaughn, and Michael Mitchell, the sophomore, for head coach Tim Kennedy. Dominic Wilson has checked back into the game. It's Wilson, Turner, Reaney also into the game for Riordan, along with Ugbaja and Bryce Monroe as Jelani Clark gets a bench. Monroe on the right wing works a 2-man game with Wilson. They move it around the perimeter now. Once again, not in any hurry. Reaney, left corner, three-pointer, short, bounces over the rim. Rebound snatched out of the air by Green, and Mitty moves left to right, looking to trim the 6-point deficit. Mitchell hesitates, got caught in the air, threw it back out to Green, whips it around to Brown. He's got a three-pointer. Owen Brown has trimmed the deficit to 3. It's the closest they've been since the start of the second half, and head coach Joe Curtin wants time. It was a 5-point game at half. It has not been this close since. It is currently 52-49. The Riordan lead is down to 3 with 3:03 left here in the third quarter. Arguably the most successful league in California Interscholastic Federation history. With more state titles than any league in the state, the WCAL is composed of member schools that share a commitment to interscholastic sports, superior academic standards, and shared faith. The member schools of the West Catholic Athletic League are happy to partner with Central Coast Sports Broadcasting, providing listeners with the best interscholastic basketball each week of the season. And we are happy to bring it for you here from Archbishop Mitty as Riordan once again on the court with Bryce Monroe, Chime Ugbaja, Rini Reedy, Dominic Wilson, and it looks like they're missing a guy. Oh, excuse me. Jelani Clark was back hiding in front of the Mitty bench trying to inbound the ball, as Riordan also almost didn't realize that Jelani Clark needs to inbound the ball to someone. He checks back into the game. He's got a game-high 19 points. Monroe, another left wing three. This one is short. Rebound pulled off the ground by Mitchell. He pushes the other way. 3-on-2 for Mitty. Rifles a pass off the hands of James Thomas, and that's going to be another turnover for Mitty on the fast break, as they had a chance to cut into a 3-point deficit right there. Riordan will have it now, leading by 3. 2:40 to play here in the third quarter. The winner of this game looking to move into first place in the WCAL standings. Bryce Monroe and Jelani Clark have led the way for Riordan. It has been Michael Mitchell leading the way for Mitty. Clark gets down the right lane and lays it in off the glass. A beautiful hop step for Jelani Clark. He's now got 21 on the night. It's a 5-point lead. Green answers at the other end with a 3-pointer. Marcus Green, the 6'2 junior, one of those young guys that we talked about at halftime, has trimmed the deficit to 2. It's a 54-52 ball game. Riordan with the lead and the ball. 2 minutes to play now in the third quarter. The Mitty student section encouraging their fellow classmates, trying to come back in this game. They have trailed since the start of the second half. Clark rifled a far corner pass to Rini, who couldn't handle it, lost it out of bounds. It's a turnover, and with 1:50 left in the third quarter, Mitty will have the ball, a chance to tie or take the lead. Jelani Clark will check out of the game in favor of Justice Turner, and Mitty sticks with the 5 that they had, trailing by 2, 52-54. They have not led in the second half. Here's Green, drives to the left side, gets by Ugbaja, lays it up with the left hand short. Rebound Dominic Wilson, and here comes Ugbaja pushing right to left for Riordan. He had the ball poked away by James Thomas. It's on the floor, and Ugbaja threw it away to Michael Mitchell. Here comes Riordan the other way. It's Brown, hangs in the air. He feeds to Green, who lays it in, count it, and the foul. The Mitty student section loves it, as Marcus Green has the last 5 Mitty points. He has tied the game at 54. He will go to the free throw line with a chance to give his team their first lead of the second half. Dante Henderson checks into the game in favor of Rini for Riordan. Marcus Green at the line, and he gives Mitty the lead, 55-54, 1:23 to play here in the third quarter. It was a 5-point game at halftime. Riordan came out with a 6-0 run, and now Mitty has retaken the lead, 55-54. Marcus Green has the last 6 points for the Monarchs. Here's Monroe, drives left, he's cut off, back up top to Wilson, who feeds back to Monroe. He's like that left wing 3. He's operated there a lot. He's working now against Marcus Green. Now moves it around the perimeter, gets it back, thought about the 3. 10 to shoot now for the Crusaders. Monroe hesitates, drives, gets baseline, jump stop, cut off, feeds a pass baseline. Going up and scoring is Deshaun Johnson. A great pass there from Bryce Monroe. That is his 4th assist of the night, and it's a 56-55 lead once again for Riordan. Mitty with the ball on the other end, and a chance for a 2-for-1 if they hurry. Green lobs a pass to Vaughn. Don't think they see the 2-for-1, and now they've missed their opportunity as we're under 30 seconds to play. Vaughn drives, has a shot blocked from the weak side by Dominic Wilson. Good defense by Deshaun Johnson as well, and with a 1-point lead in the ball, Bryce Monroe, will hold for 1 shot here. Riordan, the 1-point lead. They've led by as much as 11. That is their largest lead of the game. They led by that much early in the corner. Monroe, a left wing deep 3, bounces off the heel. Rebound snatched out of the air by Henderson. Ball's on the floor, comes to Riordan, and scoring is Dominic Wilson. The bench makes it hard to see sometimes. They're right in front of me. I am not a tall guy. I stand at all of 5'8.5". Everybody on Riordan does not. But nonetheless, Dominic Wilson, for the second time tonight, in the right place at the right time. We saw it at the end of halftime as well. When a loose ball came to him, he turned around at the elbow and fired a jumper. And right there was a scrum on the floor. He was Johnny on the spot, found the ball, and laid it in. So 58-55 is the lead that Riordan will take into the fourth quarter on the road here, much to the displeasure of the Mitty student section, who right now are engaging in what I can imagine is a ceremonial singing at the end of the third quarter of Sweet Caroline. Outfitters of Nike, Under Armour, and other national brands, there's only one team with the best supply network in high school athletics, BSN Sports. Give John Gillette a call today, 408-209-6433, or check their website, bsnsports.com. Entering our 10th year with the most live high school sports coverage in the area, Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. Big shout out to our broadcasters and sponsors who continue to give back to our communities with the best in high school sports. For the latest updates and scheduling, check out our website, centralcoastsports.live. You can also follow us on Facebook, Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. Well, the Green Waffle in-game summary is it was a game of runs in that third quarter. Riordan got out to what was as big as an 11-point lead. Mitty regained it, but Riordan currently holds a 3-point lead, 58-55, and a foul away from the ball is going to be called on Devin Sapp. That is his second personal foul, and Mitty turns the ball over on their opening possession here of the fourth quarter, trailing by 3. Certainly not what Tim Kennedy wanted to see. Riordan with the ball and that 3-point lead now. It is Bryce Monroe, Jelani Clark, Justice Turner, Deshaun Johnson, and Dante Henderson as well for head coach Joe Curtin. Here's Clark, thought about the left wing three, now drifts to the top, fires a pass to Turner, far wing, he drives baseline, had his shot blocked, and a foul on Michael Mitchell, and it's going to be 2 shots for Justice Turner, the senior, and they are going to call it on Michael Mitchell, the sophomore, on the arm, and he will have a chance to build on this current 3-point Riordan lead. Justice Turner at the line for the second time tonight. He did not shoot a free throw in the first half, but had an and one early in the third quarter. He scored the first 6 points for Riordan coming out in the third quarter. He made the first free throw to push the lead up to 4 with 30 seconds gone by here in the fourth and final quarter. He makes a pair, so it's a 5-point lead, 60-55. 30 seconds gone by. Mitty trails and has the ball. Michael Mitchell, their leading scorer on the night. He has handled the ball for most of it, and he has not checked out of the game often. Brown triggers the top of the key 3. He's got it. Owen Brown, his second triple of the night, and it is a 2-point game. 58-60. Mitty now trails as we approach a minute gone by here in the fourth quarter. Clark drives left, scoop layup with the left hand, comes off the glass at the rim, but Jelani Clark is going to go to the free throw line, looking to build on a slim 2-point Riordan lead. And I've got to give credit to both of these coaches. They have been up and active all game long. Neither one has taken a seat. Tim Kennedy for Mitty and Joe Curtin of Riordan. Shout out to those guys. They have been active and engaged all the way, as have the Mitty students who are out in full force tonight. They have packed the bleachers. Clark missed the first free throw. He's got another one coming, which he rolls over the front of the rim and in. So it's a 3-point lead now for Riordan, 61-58. Mitty has the ball as we're just over a minute gone by here in the fourth quarter. On that last possession, Devin Happ picked up his third personal foul. We'll have to check on that later in the game. He's their leading scorer for Mitty. They have it now at the other end, trailing by 3. Good defense by Riordan here. Mitchell drives past Brown. Teardrop with the right hand, comes up short as he drove down the left side. Rebound Riordan, and Clark has it the other way. Monroe drives into the lane, hands off, and a travel is called on Bryce Monroe. Once again, not totally sure about that one. Bryce Monroe wasn't either, but Joe Curtin telling him to forget about it and get back on defense. 90 seconds gone by here in the fourth quarter, 61-58. Riordan with the lead. on the road here at Archbishop Mitty. Chime Ugbaja checks in for Dante Henderson for Riordan. So it's Ugbaja, Clark, Johnson, Monroe, and Turner, as it's Brown, Green, Vaughn, Ryan, and Sapp for Mitty. Sapp tries a left wing three. That one is short. Rebound comes out. Johnson fighting for the rebound and comes away with it and feeds Turner. Here he comes the other way with no numbers. Attacks 1-on-3. Coasts down the lane, hangs in the air, and scores. Justice Turner, he's got 8 points now in the second half, if my math is correct. It's a 5-point Riordan lead as we approach 2 minutes gone by now in the fourth quarter. Mitty with the ball. This is Vaughn. Works in the middle. Back out Green. Top of the key. He nails another triple. Shoots an arrow into the sky after he makes it. That is his third of the half. He has been the offensive firepower for Mitty in this second half. He's trimmed the deficit to 2, 61-63, as Mitty now looks for a stop at the other end, approaching 2.5 gone by here in the fourth quarter. Monroe handling, trying to set up the offense, but Mitty off on the backside as they're encouraged by their student section. 10 to shoot. Clark now in the near corner. Checked by Vaughn. Back out to Monroe. Monroe with 7. Jab step, and he travels again. Bryce Monroe called for his third travel of the night. He had 3 turnovers in the first half. 1 of those was a travel. He's got 3 in the second half as well. 2 of those have been travels on the last 3 possessions for Riordan. Mitty now with the ball, chance to tie or take the lead with a 3. Green, far corner, 3-pointer, bang! Marcus Green, once again, he has given his team a 1-point lead as we approach 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. And Riordan head coach Joe Curtin wants time. The band and the student section for Mitty are loving it as their team has their first lead of the fourth quarter, 64-63 with 5:02 to play here in the game. The winner will be first place in the WCAL. Published quarterly for 30 years, don't miss the combination of business and lifestyle articles that affects the agricultural industry. Pick up a copy of Coastal Grower Magazine today or subscribe via coastalgrowermag.com. Authentic quality dishes with local ingredients, a uniquely seasoned crust, and prepared fresh daily. Pomodoro Pizza in the Almaden Valley, a great place for great food on game night or any day of the week. 6932 Almaden Expressway, San Jose, or click the website pomodoropizza.almaden.com to place your order. I would head there after the game if I didn't have work to do, but pizza always sounds good to me anytime after, 8 a.m. in the morning. So 64-63 is the score now. Mitty with the lead. Riordan will have the ball. 5:02 to play here in the fourth. It's Monroe, Clark, Ugbaja, Johnson, and Turner. There's the 5 that head coach Joe Curtin has used a lot in this game. Ryan, Vaughn, Brown, Sapp, and Green for Mitty. A backdoor pass goes out of bounds. Turner trying to feed Clark. It a little bit, and it's a turnover. Mitty with the ball now and the 1-point lead as we're now over 3 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Sapp moves the ball around the perimeter for Mitty as they get into their motion offense. A lot of screens, a lot of action all night. Mason Ryan is hounded. He now gets the ball to Brown, who's hounded by Clark himself. Backdoor cut for Ryan. He catches the ball, hands off to Sapp. Down the lane, he goes up strong, and he's fouled. Devin Sapp, the leading scorer for this Mitty squad, as the athletic director mentioned at halftime, going to play wide receiver at Yale, a phenomenal athlete, showing it off there. And you can see why he got up and got fouled. He's at the free throw line, 4.5 to play here in the fourth. Mitty with the 1-point lead, and Sapp will look to build on it right here at the charity stripe. Foul was called on, well, the scoreboard says Justin Miller, but Justin Miller is not currently in the game. I think they meant Deshaun Johnson. That would be his second personal foul. And Sapp rims out the first free throw, so it stays at a 1-point game. Exactly 4.5 to play here in the fourth quarter. Winner will be in first place in the WCAAL. Rolling in the second free throw is Devin Sapp, so it's 65-63 now. Riordan trails Mitty, and they have the ball. We have not heard a lot from Jelani Clark after a 17-point explosion in the first half, just 4 in the second, and no triples. He now has it up top, checked by Vaughn. Jab step, drives right, pulls up in the lane, knocks down the jumper. Pretty move there from Jelani Clark. Pretty tough to defend. He's tied the game at 65 as Owen Brown races the other way. Hands off to a trailing Green who lost it in the air. It was tipped out of his hand, and then I think it went off the hand of Deshaun Johnson in mid-air, and it will stay Mitty basketball. And Tim Kennedy is going to call time. Break it down, that play right there. So Green came charging down the lane, had the ball stripped out of his hand by, I think it was Ubaja, but then the ball was in the air off the hand or the leg of Green, but Deshaun Johnson, anticipating the shot, went up for the block, and his hands were in the air, so as the ball came flying, hit his hand, went out of bounds, and that was, I think, the right call there by the official. So game reset here. 65-65, 4:01 to play in the fourth quarter. Neither team, or check that, Archbishop Riordan is in the bonus. Archbishop Mitty not yet there. I don't think, or check that, that's the possession arrow. So Archbishop Riordan with the possession arrow. Neither team in the bonus nor close to it. 4 team fouls on Archbishop Mitty, 3 for Archbishop Riordan. I knew that didn't look right. 65-65 is the score, and it is Riordan with, or check that, Mitty with the ball. They will have it underneath at the far basket. It was a 1-point game, 59-58. Riordan squeaked out a victory when these two teams first met earlier in the year, and it looks like whoever is going to come out on top tonight is going to have about a 1-point victory. So Brown will inbound from underneath the basket as his teammates started the inbounds play before he was even ready for it. Brown looking to get it in, gets it into the corner, almost losing it was Sapp, but he has it with a fresh 30. All alone in the corner, now brings it back out to Green, who has been phenomenal in the second half for Mitty. Wanting a 5 count is Riordan. They might have gotten it. Vaughn now a right wing 3, and he cans it. Joseph Vaughn nails the 3 after Riordan desperately wanted a 5-second count, but did not get it. So it's a 3-point Mitty lead. Riordan with the ball, 3.5 to play here from Archbishop Mitty High School. Vaughn hands off to Turner. He tries a left wing 3. The answer is short, off the rim. Here comes Sapp, charging the other way. Got a man on his left, it's Green. Far corner, 3-pointer, no good. Rebound Turner and Riordan, and they push right to left, looking to cut into a 3-point deficit. Here's Clark spinning down the lane, hanging in the air. He threw it up short off the backboard. Rebound comes to Devin Sapp and Mitty, who push left to right once again. Up ahead, Ryan. Pump fake, drive, back out. Brown thought about the 3, and he traveled. Owen Brown was going to shoot the 3, but Ugbaja closed out quickly and made him drive. That led to the travel, so it's a turnover for Mitty, as we've seen several travels tonight from both sides now. Riordan with the ball, trailing by 3, 3:02 to play here in the fourth quarter. Dominic Wilson checks in for Deshaun Johnson for Joe Curtin and Riordan. The Mitty student section is getting into it here as we're under 3 minutes to play, and it's a 3-point game. Everyone knows the significance of this game and its outcome on the WCAL season. Clark handles on the right wing now, drifts up to the top. He's got 10 to shoot, tries a deep 3. That one is short. Rebound goes into the far corner to Clark. Curtin is screaming at Jelani Clark for shooting that shot. That is not what he wanted him to do, and Clark has been unable to get it going from beyond the arc in the second half. Here's Mitty with the ball now. It's Sapp, crossover down the right side, goes up off the glass and scores. Devin Sapp with another bucket. He's pushed the lead up to 5. That's the largest it's been in the second half for Mitty, and Joe Curtin wants time. The Mitty student section is loving it here as their team now has a 5-point lead, looking to stay in first place in WCAL play. They lead 70-65. with 2:13 to play here in the fourth quarter. And we talked about Michael Mitchell a lot at halftime with head athletic director Brian Eagleson, but here in the second half, credit Marcus Green and Devin Sapp for stepping up. They have hit some big shots here to not only keep Mitty in this game after they got down by 11, but to now give them a 5-point lead. That is the largest that they have had. On your ride home, tune in to the Central Coast Sports post-game show. Stats, insight, interviews, and more. Make sure that you listen to the Central Coast Sports Player of the Game. All part of the Central Coast Sports post-game show. Keep us here on your ride home, and tune in for our next CCSB broadcast Wednesday, February 6th, as Lay takes on Leland, streaming on YouTube Live as always. Pregame at 6:45, 7 p.m. tip. Both teams now with 2 timeouts remaining. 5-point lead for Mitty. Riordan has the ball, trailing by 5. And I feel right now for Chime Ubaja, who has to take the ball out right in front of the fired-up Mitty student section, and he is hearing it. It is the 5'9 senior, but he is unfazed. So Riordan looking to cut into a 5-point deficit as Monroe handles. Feeds Turner, right wing, three-pointer. It's long. Justice Turner unable to get it to go. Rebound fought for by Wilson. There's a mad scrum for the ball on the floor. Someone's trying to claim it, and there's going to be a kick ball called against Justice Vaughn, and that is going to be Riordan ball and a new shot clock. 1:59 to play. Riordan trails by 5. They have it on the baseline, far side underneath. Bryce Monroe will take it out for Riordan. He gets it into Dominic Wilson, hands back off to Monroe, who thought about the 3, now drives baseline, goes up, can't get it to go, it's blocked, but he's fouled. Mason Ryan can't believe it. He thought about going to plead his case to the official. Owen Brown says, no, come back here. And Bryce Monroe will go to the line, looking to cut into a 5-point deficit, 65-70. Riordan currently trails. The foul is going to go on Mason Ryan. That is his second, as Monroe knocks down the first free throw. 5 team fouls now for Archbishop Mitty. So they would need 2 more to put Riordan in the bonus, who have just 3 team fouls themselves. It has been a pretty clean game all around, albeit with several turnovers, but not a lot of fouls. Monroe nails the second free throw. It's a 3-point game as Riordan brings out kind of a man-to-man full-court press, but not able to set it up in time, really, as Vaughn calmly brings it across the timer for Mitty, who lead by 3. Under 2 minutes to play now, 70-67, trying to complete the second half comeback. Mitty is trailed by as much as 11. Here's Sapp, top of the key. His three-pointer bounces off the heel. Rebound goes up high. Vaughn gets it, kicks it back out to Green. To Brown, left wing. Three-pointer bounces off the rim twice. Ryan fighting for the rebound. It's going to be off of Bryce Monroe. Mitty basketball, as we're now under 90 seconds to play. 3-point game still. Offensive rebounds looming large here for Mitty, giving themselves extra chances. They have a fresh 35 and the ball as Vaughn handles and hands off to Green. Tim Kennedy telling his team to not be in a hurry. They lead by 3. We're now under 1:20 to play. It's Sapp with it. Checked by Turner, who is not pressuring. I mean, they can get this clock under a minute if Riordan's not going to pressure, which it looks like they are not. And now Tim Kennedy is going to call a full timeout here. So Mitty will have 1 timeout, or check that, a 30-second timeout coming for Tim Kennedy and Mitty. It is not their last timeout, it's their second to last timeout. So 1 left for Mitty, 2 left for Riordan. 70-67, Mitty with the lead and the ball. There's 16 seconds on the shot clock when they come out of this 30-second timeout. And Riordan right there was not applying any type of significant pressure. They were fully willing to let the clock run down, trailing by 3. There's 1:06 on the game clock, 16 on the shot clock. So if you're Mitty, you can really get this down to around 50 seconds, which is pretty good, because even if you don't score, it leaves a limited amount of time for the other team, and you still got time if they're able to score. But if you do score, Riordan now has to make up 2 possessions in 50 seconds. So Mitty with the ball. They'll inbound from right in front of their own bench. It's Devin Sapp. He will inbound. He's going to try to get it to Green. Ugbaja tried to not allow it, but Green comes into the backcourt. He's now hounded by Ugbaja, and Ugbaja fouls him. Just a little bit over-aggressive there for Chime Ugbaja. 4th team foul on Archbishop Riordan, so no free throws for a little while for Mitty. Same deal, inbound into the backcourt, Ugbaja checking Green. And the shot clock reset at the foul, so it's a fresh shot clock. Ugbaja trying to take it away from Green. I think their coach wants him to foul, but they are not fouling. Ugbaja is up in him, and he wants a 5 count. That's what head coach Joe Curtin wants. Here's Green, right wing. He nails a 3. Another big 3 by Marcus Green, and Riordan's got to push. Monroe down the lane, hands off Wilson, goes up, scores, and does not get a foul call. It's a 4-point game, 73-69, and a steal, a near steal in the backcourt as the very tall coaches once again somewhat obstructing my eyesight here. It's a jump ball. It's going to be Riordan basketball as Jelani Clark looked like he was the guy in there taking the ball away, and Monroe will have it underneath. 73-69, 24 seconds left. Mitty with the lead, but Riordan with the ball down by 5. Joe Curtin is emphatically yelling out instructions. 24 seconds now. Riordan with it. Here's Monroe, right wing, gotta go, gets into the lane, hangs in the air, puts up a floater, and connects. Timeout, Riordan. That was a tough off-balance floater by Bryce Monroe. He's trimmed the deficit to 3, or check that, to 2. 71-73, Riordan trails Mitty. Mitty with the ball. Riordan calls the timeout. Each team now will have 1 remaining. The possession arrow after that jump ball turnover will favor Archbishop Mitty. There's 15.8 seconds on the game clock, and the shot clock has obviously been turned off. And Archbishop Mitty student section right now feeling confident in their team right now is doing the "I believe that we will win" chant. That is a bold strategy, Cotton, because that is normally a chant that is only done when the game is locked up. And it is most certainly not right here, as it is a 2-point game. Mitty will have the ball underneath, off the made basket. They will be able to run the baseline. Riordan surely going to come out in full court press, as Joe Curtin was just instructing his team for everyone to match up and make sure you know who you have and to pick up full court. They forced a near turnover on the last possession that turned into a jump ball that went in their favor, but a similar situation would not result in their possession. Mason Ryan will inbound. He's hounded by Jelani Clark, looking to get it in, lobs it into the corner to Vaughn. He's double-teamed. The pass going back to Ryan is kicked out of bounds by Clark. 14.4 seconds now. Mitty with the ball and the 2-point lead. Ryan now cannot move the baseline, throws it in, gets it to Sapp, and Sapp is immediately fouled. Joe Curtin wanted a travel, but it is still going to be a non-shooting foul. That's the 5th team foul on Riordan. Foul's going to be on number 0, Jelani Clark, picked up the foul. That's his 2nd. So 12.6 seconds now. 5 team fouls for Riordan and 5 team fouls for Mitty. Mitty the 2-point lead and the ball. Once again, 12.6 seconds on the clock. Mason Ryan inbounds from the far sideline, gets it in. It's tipped out of bounds. Justice Turner got a hand on it and knocked it out of bounds. The clock ran down to 11.2 seconds. It will still be Mitty basketball with a 2-point lead and the ball as time slowly but surely dwindles down here for Riordan. Ryan will inbound closer to his baseline, but on the same spot where he was, trying to get it in. Nearly does to Green, who has to save it back to Ryan, and he is fouled. So Marcus Green caught the ball, was almost kind of pushed out or forced out of bounds by Jelani Clark, and he had to throw it back in, falling out of bounds to Mason Ryan, who was fouled. The 6th team foul, 3rd on Jelani Clark. 7.6 seconds now in the game. Mitty with the ball, 2-point lead. The next foul will be a 1-and-1, and it looks like Mitty has called their final timeout. So that is their last timeout. It will be a full timeout. So I can finally do a full game reset here. 73-71, Mitty with the lead. They will have the ball on the far sideline right in front of the Mitty student section trying to inbound. Riordan now is up to 16 fouls, so the next one will be 1-1 after having to foul on 3 consecutive possessions after being unable to force a turnover. Riordan has 1 timeout remaining. The possession arrow favors Archbishop Mitty. Riordan stays with the 5 they had a moment ago. It's Ugbaja, Clark, Monroe, Turner, and Wilson. And Mitty also likely to stay with the 5 that they had a moment ago of Sapp, Vaughn, Green, Ryan, and I believe Brown is the other one on the court. And that is the 5 that they come out with. Ryan will inbound from the far sideline just in front of the student section. He is not able to move. Jelani Clark will guard the inbound with that 6'3" frame, trying to obstruct the pass in any way he can. 7.6 seconds on the game clock. Mitty with the ball and the 2-point lead. Ryan looking, needs to find a man, throws it, and it's out of bounds. It's going to be Riordan basketball. Trying to get it to Vaughn, and Justice Turner was able to disrupt the pass without fouling. Riordan will have the basketball, and they call their final timeout. What a sequence here at Archbishop Mitty High School. So now, once again, to redo the reset, it is 73-71. Mitty with the 2-point lead. Riordan will have the ball. It was tipped and kind of went out towards the baseline. I don't know if they're going to have it side out of bounds or on the baseline. We'll check that in a moment. There's 6.5 seconds on the game clock. Neither team has any timeouts. I'm sure the coaches are repeating that as many times as they can. Neither team has timeouts lest a Chris Webber situation arise. Riordan will have the ball with a chance to tie or take the lead, trailing by 2, 6.5 seconds to play here. 16 fouls for Riordan, just 5 for Mitty. It's Ugbaja trying to find Monroe, has to get it in, now lobs to Clark, contested pass, and it's taken away by Mitty. Vaughn is on the floor, no one fouls him, the clock continues running, and now there's a jump ball. And Riordan, the assistant coaches are trying to say that Mitty tried to call a timeout, which would be a technical foul, but nonetheless, the officials do not hear it. It is a turnover, Mitty ball, 2 seconds on the game clock. Ryan gets it in, Brown to Vaughn, and he is fouled with 0.3 of a second left. And Mitty is going to, in all likelihood, win the game. Oh my goodness, what a sequence that was. Visual frustration for several of the Riordan Crusaders players as they realize that the game is all but lost. The officials are coming over to the scoring table to check something out. I think they're saying that whoever committed the foul has fouled out, and that's Chime Ugbaja who was fouled out of the game. They've put a half second back on the game clock, have the officials, so there's half a second left. Mitty is at the free throw line with Joseph Vaughn. They have a 2-point lead. Neither team has any timeouts. Vaughn is shooting a 1-1. And if I'm Vaughn, I am missing this intentionally off the rim because half a second only gives time for a full court heave. And that's just too much of a that's too hard of a shot to get off, in my opinion. But we'll see what Vaughn has been instructed to do by head coach Tim Kennedy. Here comes the first free throw. Nothing but net. 3-point game. 74-71. Half a second on the clock. You wonder if Vaughn will try to make this one as well. That would put the game certainly out of reach. It's on its way, and it's in. Mitty is going to hold on here as Wilson heaves a full court shot. It's up short, and that is the final buzzer. 75-71. Mitty with the win at home over the Riordan Crusaders. And what is the type of game you love to win and you hate to lose in what was a thriller here on senior night for Archbishop Mitty. on their home court. They will they will move into first place in the WCAL and 10-2 in WCAL play, 16-6 overall on the season. For Riordan, they will fall to 8-4 in conference play and will need some help if they are going to come out with a WCAL regular season title. Make sure you stick around for the Central Coast Sports post-game show. Keep us right here on your ride home, as I will be recapping this one, and hopefully we'll be getting an interview for you here as well as we go through. And our great statistics guy is getting me the stats right now. He has been exceptional all night. I have to give a shout out to Patrick. Where did his last name go? Patrick Sergeson of Riordan. He has been given professional level stats at halftime, and he's getting them for me right now. Shout out to you, Patrick. You are the man, and you are making my job a heck of a lot easier. Once again, 75-71, the final. Mitty with the victory over Riordan. A little bit more of a high-scoring affair than their last outing when Riordan pulled off the one-point victory at home, 59-58. For the game, Archbishop Mitty shoots at 47% from the floor, 45% from beyond the arc, and 77% from the free throw line, 10 of 13. Of course, with the final two to seal it right there by the senior Joseph Vaughn, that put the game ultimately out of reach. And, Riordan had a chance there at the very end. They had the ball, no timeouts, but they had it side out of bounds about 6.5 seconds. They were unable to get the ball in cleanly. Vaughn and Sapp were able to combine for the steal and take it away, and that ultimately was that, as Riordan was unable to make a dramatic comeback from there. Recap the scores from the game, or the leading scorers from the game for Archbishop Riordan. They were led, of course, by Jelani Clark, who had a 7-point second half after that 17-point explosion in the first. He finishes 4 of 5 from beyond the arc, missed his only 3-point attempt of the second half after going 4 of 5 in the first half. His backcourt companion, Bryce Monroe, both of whom are Division I prospects with multiple Division I basketball scholarship offers. Bryce Monroe finished the game with 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Clark also had 10 boards to go with his 5 assists, all of which led the way for Archbishop Riordan. For Archbishop Mitty, they were led by the fast-paced scoring of Marcus Green, who had 3 points in the first half. That's right, he had 3 points in the first half, goes off for 22 in the second, including 5 3-pointers to lead the way. He is without a doubt the Central Coast Sports player of the game, which is not to take away from the efforts of Devin Sapp, who had 12 points and 8 rebounds as well. Joseph Vaughn contributed with 14 points and 4 boards on 5 of 9 shooting. And Owen Brown knocked down some big triples in that second half, and he finished with 11. Five Mitty Monarchs in double figures for this game. The 5th one being Michael Mitchell, who we talked about at halftime. But Marcus Green, really, you can't say enough about what he did in the second half. He was all over the place, hitting shots, making plays on the fast break. He had 2 assists as well, but really it was just his shooting and his consistency. He was 4 of 4 at the line, and he was huge in the second half, as Devin Sapp, who still had 12 points and 8 boards, the 8 boards, of course, led his team, but he was just 4 of 14 from the floor. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, head coach Tim Kennedy said that Devin Sapp was the leading scorer for this Mitty squad. And joining me now is the Central Coast Sports player of the game, Marcus Green of Mitty. Marcus, you had 3 points in the first half. You go off for 22 in the second to finish with 25 total. That was a game high. What clicked for you at halftime?
My teammates were just supporting me. They know I didn't hit like I usually do. They kept having my back. I kept trusting it, and then things fall into place.
And with this win now, you guys stay in first place in the WCAL. It was a very emotional environment, obviously. On senior night, you're still a junior, so you've got another year to come back. But talk about what it means to send off your guys as seniors with such a big win like this.
Oh, I love those guys. Those great leaders, always pushing me to get better, always pushing them. And, you know, I wouldn't want this game to end out any other way. That was perfect. That was the best game we could have played.
Well, Marcus, congrats on the win and heck of a game. That is Marcus Green, your Central Coast Sports Player of the Game. Appreciate it. Marcus Green, 25 points. That was a game high, like I mentioned, 22 in the second half as Mitty sends off their seniors with a win and move into first place in the WCAL. Special thanks to our sponsors, Netafim Drip Irrigation, Gonzalez Irrigation Systems, Coastal Grower Magazine, Block Construction, BSN Sports, Pomodoro Pizza, Vulcan Materials, Kevin Moore, and Arnie Von Massenhausen of Home Services Lending. And, of course, I can't forget about the Green Waffle, our newest sponsor. Also a big shout-out to Mitty High School for their hospitality. I was able to see well enough behind the Riordan bench despite my small stature. And also big shout-out to 95.3 KRTY, San Jose's Hot Country. Not only the best in today's country music, but offering the best in high school sports and the South Bay home of the Golden State Warriors. Thanks to Nate Deaton, Nicole Woodson, and Jamie Paul. For more info, go to their website at krty.com. Well, that is going to wrap up tonight's broadcast. Once again, shout out to Archbishop Mitty and Marcus Green for helping me out with the broadcast here. For Spencer McLaughlin, I am Spencer McLaughlin signing off. We'll see you next time on Central Coast Sports Broadcasting Network.